What makes an avoidant stop pulling away? What makes them decide to stay and commit to you? These were the exact questions I was asking myself years ago. Hi, I'm Carolina, and together with my formerly avoidant husband, we run this YouTube channel where we talk about attachment styles and breakups. Gabriel and I met back in 2012. We kept on bumping into each other at our friends' parties. After the third ish party, we finally went on a date. And from then on, things unfolded fast. I got swept up in a whirlwind of emotions. Gabriel was making a lot of effort, asking me out often, even organizing a surprise trip for us. He was sweet and caring, but just a few months in, our anxious avoidant dynamic began to emerge. I was the chaser, he was the unavailable avoidant. I craved more and more closeness. He needed space and independence. I knew I wanted to be with him, but he wasn't sure if he was ready to commit. 6 months in, I took him to a wedding where he met my entire family, and that's where we broke up for the first time. From then on, our relationship became a cycle of breakups and makeups. Each time it repeated, things got worse for me. Our first breakup was mutual. Gabriel didn't know what he wanted, and I did. So it seemed like ending things was our only option. But when we got back together, I was already anticipating the next rejection. My anxiety kept getting worse. The second breakup wasn't mutual. Gabriel ended it. And this pattern kept going. I got to a point where my friends would roll their eyes and say, "You two need to stop breaking up and getting back together." I'd agree, but I couldn't stop no matter how much I tried. But then, after a series of events, that storm of negative emotions eroding my self esteem finally subsided and ended. Together, Gabriel and I figured a way out. I helped him understand what he wanted and what he was looking for, and he could finally make me feel secure. I was no longer afraid of being abandoned. In this video, I'm going to explain the two changes we made that helped us break free from the anxious avoidant trap. Maybe you noticed I said we made changes together. That was one of the biggest breakthroughs. I finally stopped trying to fix things all by myself. When you're the anxious partner stuck in an anxious avoidant dynamic, you tend to neglect yourself for the sake of keeping the relationship going. You put your needs aside, you swallow your feelings, try to be the bigger person, and give more and more, hoping it will heal the avoidant. After our third breakup, I hit my limit. I had nothing more to give. I was done with the emotional roller coaster. I wanted a stable, dependable partner. Gabriel kept on telling me he couldn't give me what I needed. So for once, I decided to believe him. I stopped trying to fix us and started communicating exactly where I was at. Funny enough, when you give up on what you want, that's often when you end up getting it. It wasn't instant. Gabriel took a month to realize I was serious. During that time, we both dated other people, which helped us see what we really had. For me, it confirmed that our chemistry and our emotional connection were rare. I knew he'd feel the same. We clicked. We laughed at the same jokes. We cared about the same things. Letting go of trying to fix the relationship alone is what pulled Gabriel out of the avoidant bubble. I wasn't hiding my pain or resentment anymore. If he wanted to stay on good terms, he had to meet my needs and adapt. He began making more effort, rebuilding trust, and rebuilding our friendship. After a month of on and off texting, I finally agreed to see him with my guard up and no intention of getting back together. Turns out he was done with the cycle too. Of course, the moment we saw each other, the chemistry was undeniable. We got back together right away. That was the first big shift. The second was this. Both anxious and avoidant partners underestimate the strength of emotional connections. Once a deep bond forms, it takes a lot for it to fade. I've seen coaching clients reconnect after 20, 30 years, and the emotional bond was still there. In almost every relationship, things are perfect during the honeymoon phase because you're open and real with each other. But over time, problems pile up. You fall into roles, routines take over, and you stop communicating as openly. That's when avoidance starts pulling away, when the connection fades. This is also when your anxiety gets stronger. Both anxious and avoidant get triggered by emotional distance in a relationship, just that they react in opposite ways. Shortly after our third reconciliation, we resolved one of our recurring arguments. People say communication is key so often that it almost sounds cliche, but it's true. You both need to learn to speak and to listen. One breakthrough was realizing I hadn't been listening to Gabriel the way he needed me to listen. When I finally did, he felt heard. Then a week later, we had the same argument, but reversed. This time, he learned how to make me feel heard. Communication is what keeps the emotional connection strong, and the connection is what keeps avoidance invested. It's what stops them from pulling away. So the two game changers were one, me letting go of fixing everything myself, and two, both of us actively working on communication and on strengthening our emotional bond. It wasn't about putting my needs aside or giving endless space. It was about functioning as a team, supporting each other, holding each other accountable, and being both strong and vulnerable. Strengthening our friendship strengthened our love, deepening our connection intensified our chemistry. Are we now perfect and conflict free? No, but we know how to handle disagreements without damaging our understanding. We haven't broken up since 2013. So, what makes an avoidant stop pulling away? What makes them commit? It's the emotional bond between you. But for them to feel it, you have to be brutally honest with yourself and with them. Don't try to fix everything alone. Let them share the work, communicate, be fair, deepen your connection, and they'll realize they're just as attached to you as you are to them. Change with an avoidant partner takes time and effort. You don't have to figure it all out by yourself. We created a program called Attach and Avoidant based on our own experiences and our work with coaching clients. It covers all the stages of a relationship with an avoidant, the pitfalls to watch out for, how to talk to them, and how to set boundaries so that you can kickstart change without doing all the heavy lifting. I'll link it in the description for you guys. This was a personal video. I hope you find it helpful. If you want more attachment style advice, subscribe to our channel. We share both the anxious and the avoidant perspective. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.